الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وتبع هداه. Okay. So inshallah ta'ala, let's start with the recitation, group recitation of Surah Al-Fatiha while we do the setup, inshallah, and continue our tajweed slides for today. So as usual, I'll recite and then you repeat after me, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. ما شاء الله. So one ayah from صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم, you hold your breath and recite it, one shot. What if you can't? Where can we stop? On which word? Yeah, عليهم, yeah. So you see, صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. And this is according to the school of Al-Madani. Because you see, Al-Madani, this is another mushaf. So they have an ayah ending here on عليهم. So, which is fine. I can just stop here. It's fine. There are 6 schools known as هو رؤوس الآية, like, because scholars like have different opinions whether do we consider this ayah number 1, or maybe like we combine it with the next one and then we say ayah 1, or like we just separate them. So they have different opinions. Because remember, when the Quran was revealed, the Prophet ﷺ didn't put the numbers. So the Prophet ﷺ, he passed away and still the Quran has no numbers. And Uthman ibn Affan wrote it 7 times without the numbers. Same thing. Going back to Tajweed slides. Yes. Yeah, they say at the end of the ayah, but you can tell, this is by telling that this is the end of the ayah. But these numbers, they were like made later on. Yeah. But there are only like few different opinions, by the way. Like, it's not that much, you know. Like for example, Surah Al-Fatiha, that's the only one. Like if you go to Surah Al-Baqarah, you see Surah Al-Baqarah Alif Lam Mim, and then you have ayah 1, right? So for the Madani, he says actually Alif Lam Mim ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ. The whole thing is ayah number 1. So the Madani he says, look, I feel like Alif Lam Mim, should be included with ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ as one single ayah. While Al-Kufi, this is the popular mushaf, they said they should be like separated. Is this based on meaning? No, it's not based on meaning. You know that? Because if that's based on meaning, then when Allah says فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ, it should have, بالضبط, because فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ is an ayah ending, but Allah doesn't mean that, so the meaning is not complete here. It's actually dangerous to stop at this word, فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ, and then can you imagine someone is praying and then they recited فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ, like they started the surah from the beginning, أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَدْعُو إِلَى الْيَتِيمِ وَلَا يَحُضُّ عَلَى طَعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ, and then he made a ruku'. معنى ناقص. Okay. What is the hukum? Like, okay, now we're here to study tajweed. right? Now, what is the what is the ruling for learning tajweed? Do you think learning tajweed is fard? Is it obligatory or it's recommended? Okay, when you say fard, theoretically or practically? Like studying the theories of like tajweed is fard? Or you mean like I don't have to know every single one as long as I'm reciting the Quran correctly? Yeah, Jazakallah khair. So there's actually an individual obligation and a communal obligation. So individual obligation is like for every single Muslim to know how to read the Quran. Especially Surah Al-Fatiha. I mean, if you can't recite Surah Al-Fatiha, then how can you pray? Just think about it. Like, how can you pray your 5 daily prayers? So it's important that you learn how to say Surah Al-Fatiha. So individual obligation fulfilled when one learns how to practically implement the rules of tajweed. Communal obligation, communal obligation is fard kifaya. So if I ask, here in Montreal, like how many Muslims, like is population of Muslim community? Approximately 200,000. MashaAllah, that's big. Allah Akbar. Okay, 200,000 people are Muslim. Is it fard or is it obligatory for them to memorize the entire Quran? So they call this fard what? Fard kifaya. Fard kifaya means if one in the community did it, then there is no sin on the rest. Okay? Like funeral prayer, Salat al-Janaza. Someone passed away, it's fard kifaya, meaning like if one group led Salat al-Janaza, then there is no sin on the rest. Memorization of the Quran as well, it's fard kifaya. Okay? Just not here in Quebec. Is learning French fard or recommended? According to some places, it's fard, right? Okay. And the rest will be at least recommended. Yeah, the difference opinion, exactly. So now we understand the difference between like learning tajweed. So basically for you guys, what is fard is like know how to recite the Quran, like how to apply the med, the ghunna, which mashallah, all of you did last week. But it's always good because you are like the founders and the leaders. This center, mashallah, you're like the pioneers in this center. So you need to know like all the tajweed rules, idhnillah. And they're so easy, Like sometimes you think, oh, but tajweed is a big word, like oh, it's so hard, I can't do it. It's so easy. Tajweed, theoretically, are so easy. Do you know, like, I have actually a handout I made, and there are 21 rules. Three pages. If you understand these 3 pages, you master tajweed rules. That's it. I can share that with you, inshallah, in the group. Because we created a WhatsApp. Do you remember that? We created a group. Now, is it okay? This is a fiqh rule. Like, is it okay if I touch the mushaf without wudu? Okay. Wudu is necessary for 3 things, for 3 acts of ibadah. Of course, number 1 is salah. What is number 2? Tawaf. When you make tawaf. And then number 3, the Quran. When you want to touch the Quran. Allah says, لا يمسه إلا المطهرون. Only those who are pure, who can touch the Quran. But some of the scholars say that's actually referring to the angels when they're coming down with the mushaf, with the revelation, like Jibreel alayhi salam. So not necessarily like people touching the mushaf. But the fiqhi opinion still stands strong that you have to make wudu before touching the Quran. For sure, it's the book of the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's the book of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Unless if like you memorize the surah by heart and you're just reviewing it without touching the mushaf, then that's a different thing. These are some adab, some like etiquettes. So make sure that you're in wudu, and then make sure that you say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim when you recite the Quran, and then focus on the recitation, and then crying when you read. Imam Nawawi, he said, crying when reading the Quran is a characteristic of those who know Allah. من عرف مقام الله بكى. They cry as they recite the Quran. How about those who force themselves to cry? What do you think, guys? Like someone is reciting the Quran and he's not crying, and then they force themselves to cry. It's positive, that's right. But if, because like you want that heart to tremble and soften. But it depends. Now, some reciters, they take that one single word and ayah, they repeat it like 100 times. Okay, مثلا وقال الله وقال الله وقال الله. That shouldn't be the case. Because, I mean, Allah mentioned the verse one time, like, why are you repeating it? Dr. Actually, I wish if we have time, but do you know Dr. Emir Suwaid? Okay, Dr. Emir Suwaid, he's very strict on tajweed. Okay. And I recited to him, Sheikh Ayman, Hafidullah. He's very strict. I remember when I recited to him Surah Al-Baqarah, you know the last ayah that says, أُولَٰئِكَ عَلَى هُدًى مِّن رَبِّهِمْ. So he said, والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون. He says like, don't do like it should be without like vibrating the sound, because he's very strict. He doesn't like people who recite the Quran and like kind of sing it. So there was a guy, I think he was from Asia anyways, but he recited the Quran like this. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And he was enjoying his recitation and thinking that the Shaykh at the end will be like, MashaAllah, good job. And the Shaykh, he said, Abra'u ilallahi min the qira'ah. I was like, this is haram. Like, what are you doing? Respect the words of Allah. He gave him the hardest time. I mean, this is true. Like, because one of the signs of the Day of Judgment that الناس يتغنون بالقرآن, like they just use the Quran like as if it is like subhanallah a lyrics for a song, astaghfirullah, and they will compete. Oh, my voice is better. Do this, and they post videos here, TikTok, YouTube, but they do not really understand and act upon the Quran. Like the Hadith says, it did not even go through their throat. Like, meaning that it didn't reach the heart. It's just here, just here. So it's dangerous. So like learning tajweed, like I know we're learning tajweed, it's a blessing, but it comes with what? Responsibility. Any blessing comes with responsibility, that's for sure. Like if you want to be like the richest, then it comes with a big responsibility. Okay, like some slides, so like because there's so many slides, and when we'll have only like 2 more sessions left, so we want to make sure we finish all of them. I talked about this before. Like there are 2 types of mistakes when someone is reciting. There is a mistake called the major mistake. Major mistake when someone switches a fatha with a dhamma. That's a big thing, because they're changing the meaning. Or a letter with another. That's also a big thing. In Surah Al-Fatiha, you see like someone says, صِرَاطَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمْتُ عَلَيْهِمْ. No, that's haram. Like, he's actually saying, I'm the one who guides people, not Allah. أَنْعَمْتُ أَنَا يعني. Why? It's أَنْعَمْتَ أَنْتَ, right? Ya Allah. The one that you, Ya Allah, guided or blessed. So big difference. And there's a mistake, it's called hidden mistake, khafi, or minor mistake. It's only recognized by those who study tajweed. Like if someone shortened the med, he did short med, that's not correct. So this guy he made a minor mistake. Should people be corrected for minor mistakes in salah if they're leading? No. Like can you imagine if someone says, وَمَن يَعْمَلْ, and they say, repeat, it's like a little bit shorter, make it a little bit longer. Like in salah, it doesn't work that way. So they say no, actually you only correct them if they make a major mistake, like forgot an ayah, a word, mispronounce a word. So now we understand the difference between the 2. Speeds of recitation. Okay, the turtle speed. and then the rabbit's feet. Which one you like in Taraweeh? Some of you is like, I like the tiger one. Or the cheetah. Yeah? Yes, depends. Yeah, that's right. The cheetahs, yeah. So fast. Yeah, I've seen those imams, like I think in Istanbul, like so fast, wallahi. Even the ruku', it's like only 1 second of ruku'. I mean, you can just pray 2 rak'at, you're not doing khatam anyways. And the masjid is packed. All right, go to this one masjid, like the imam prays so fast, they're the best masjid in the area. Astaghfirullah. Now, tahqiq. What's tahqiq? It's to recite slowly without stretching. So if someone reciting in tahqiq, I say, Alhamdulillahi, lahi. This is wrong. This is stretching. Should be like that. So it should be what? Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. It's called tahqiq. معناها هي the slowest recitation speed is tahqiq. What is tahqiq good for what? Tadabbur. Do you agree? If someone wants to do tadabbur, he would recite slowly, 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 because he wants to understand. And this is actually what the Sahaba's recitation speed. Because the Sahaba says, when we want to memorize a page, we act upon it, and then we don't move to the next page until we understand it in full. So in order for them to understand it in full, they will recite slowly, looking into the ayat, understanding the meaning, the surface meaning, and also the deep meaning of the verses. Next one is, so again, what's the slowest one called what? Tahqiq. Good. The one in the middle, tadwir. Tadwir. So tadwir is good like when you're reciting to your shaykh. Okay. You can also use that in salah, But I'm saying it's best when you recite to your shaykh, like your review, or recite to your classmate, or review the Quran. You want to like review the Quran, and you don't want to review it too fast nor too slow, like something in the middle. Go with tadwir. Hadr, recite quickly without merging. What does it mean without merging? Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka. That's merging the letters. Should make them clear. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Okay, just make every letter, clear without merging them. Okay, moving to the nenext one. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. What is the hukum for saying a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim? You say in the beginning of the surah. Why? Because Allah says in Surah An-Nahl, فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, okay, make sure that you seek refuge in Allah from the devil when you recite the Quran. فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. How about Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim? You say it only in the beginning of the surah. What if I started the surah from the middle? Then it's what? Optional. That's it. Okay, so we understand the hukum of the basmala. And we do basmala in the entire Quran except chapter 9, which is Surah At-Tawbah. So middle of the surah, essential to say isti'adha and optional to say basmala. There's this last one, context. Pay attention to the context, as certain themes reciting the basmala can be essential or completely inappropriate. Like for example, one started with the ayah from Quran, وَقَالَ الشَّيْطَانُ. Shouldn't start that with a bismillah, because it's the shaitan. What if an ayah says, هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ. It's the one who created the heavens and the earth. Huwa here refers to whom? Allah. So they say it's highly recommended to start with basmala. So you can figure this out from the context. So, okay. Now let's move on. Have you heard of sanad? When someone knows the Quran by heart and they have sanad. Inshallah, you all have sanad. So basically, okay, I'll show you. This is my sanad. So, okay, so this is my name. Here. Okay. And then I recited the Quran to this sheikh here. So I'm number 32. I'm number 32. And I recited the Quran to this Shaykh here. He's from Syria. His name is Muhammad Bilal Tutunji. And Shaykh Muhammad Bilal Tutunji, he recited the Quran to the great Shaykh who passed away, rahimahullah, Bakr al-Tarabishi, his name. He's from Syria. And then Bakr al-Tarabishi, he recited to whom? Muhammad Sulaim al-Hulwani. And then from one, you see, from one person to another, and the list continues until what? Hafs himself. Riwayat Hafs. Okay, you know Hafs, right? Hafs and Asim. And then from Hafs to Asim, and then from Asim to the three Sahabas who are Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, Zayd ibn Thabit, Ali ibn Abi Talib. And these three companions, they learned it from whom? None except what? Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, مهبط الوحي والرسالة وصاحب القدر والجلالة خاتم النبيين وإمام المرسلين سيدنا محمد ابن عبد الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. ومحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم تلقى القرآن from whom? الأمين جبريل عليه السلام وجبريل من الله سبحانه وتعالى. So you see the series سلسلة. This what distinguishes Islam from other faith traditions today. لأن Islam is a religion that is based on authenticity. And how can this authenticity be proven and evident is through the sanad. Okay? Like sanad in Quran, sanad in hadith, sanad in fiqh. It's called sanad. What is sanad? It's a connected chain of narration, right, to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Good. Now let's move on. How can you gain sanad? Like if someone, you didn't guys ask me, are you interested in getting sanad? Are you interested in getting sanad in Quran? How can tell me, like, how can I get the sanad? Yes. Number one, hafiz, you memorize the whole Quran. Number two, yeah, and the Shaykh verifies that your memorization is strong and the application of tajweed is strong. And you get the ijazah. And you would recite the Quran from beginning to end. Okay? Perfect. The Arabic alphabet. Let's do some Arabic lesson here, like quick Arabic lesson. Okay, look at this one. What is the first letter? Then, no. That's not a ha. How do you know? It could be ta, could be tha. أبجد هوز حطي كلم سعفص قرشت ثخذ قرست ثخذ ضغشوا. You haven't heard of أبجد هوز? أبجد هوز حطي كلم. So if you have any alphabetical order in Arabic, it's gonna use this. It doesn't go like alif, ba, ta, tha. Guys, this is the first order of or arrangement of the Arabic letters. And they were written without dots, just like that. How do you know? You know the pronunciation of them according to the context. Yeah, according to the context. Okay, like if I give you like a word, let's say. Because أبجد هوس حطي كلام سع. This is the ain. And then the ghain. Like some words, it's difficult to tell. Like for example, okay, we go here. Yeah, without harakat. So if I write this word to you, and then, I mean, yeah, it's hard to write it without the. Yeah, I'm gonna copy from here. Yeah, copy paste. Yeah. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, but basically, like if I have this letter, okay, and I have where is the here, this letter, and then I have lam. So it could be feel, elephant. It could be qabl, which means before. No, but when it is like one word. بالضبط في الكلمة. It's hard. So you figure this out from the context. Wow, can you imagine if the letters still exist like this? It would be really difficult, honestly. Yeah, you need the Sheikh. That's why here's the Sheikh. He came long time ago. His name is Nasr ibn Asim al-Laythi. Memorize his name. Make dua for him. He made it easy for us. What this Sheikh did, this Sheikh, by the way, he died in 90 Hijri. So he's what? He's a follower. Okay? He's a follower. So this Sheikh, what he did, he actually did two things. Number one, he rearranged them according to their shape. He put the ba ta ta together, one family. One brothers, sisters, brothers, brothers. And you have couples here. And then at the end, look at the end what he did. He didn't find mutashabihat. So there's nothing look like the meme and the nuna. So he put them at the end. This is his criteria. And he put the dots to distinguish between al-mutashabihat. وَنَقَطَهَا, so that he distinguishes between ba, ta, tha. Okay, he said, Wallah, Jim, I'm going to put the dot here in the middle. And ha, I'm going to leave it like that. And then kha, I put it on top. That's how he did it. And he made it easy for us. Okay, let's do a practice. Are you ready? What is the most difficult letter to pronounce? Blood? Okay, let's practice. You say alif, ba, ta, tha, jim, ha, kha. So ha is a soft letter. The ulama say make sure that it doesn't sound like a snoring sound. Someone is sleeping. Like ha. Ha. It comes from the throat, not the tongue. Dal, dhal, ra, zay, sin, shin, صاد, ضاد, طا, ظا, عين, غين, فاء, قاف, كاف, لام, ميم, نون, vibration here, ha, واو, لام ألف, يا. Where's the alif here? Alif is the second one. Second one is ba. The first one is not alif. This is hamza. This is actually hamza. And alif is right here. They call it lam alif. It's the alif. But they say alif cannot stand alone, because can you say an alif? You say that's hamza. Hamza followed by an alif. By the way, hamza did not exist in the Mus'haf al-Uthmani. Like, they didn't have a shape for it. So Khalil ibn Ahmad al-Farahidi was the one who created a shape for it. And this is something maybe we can talk about, like ilm al-nahu, one day, inshallah. But now, just focus on, let's just focus on the pronunciation of these letters. Yeah, this is it. You see, like Hamza came from the letter Ain. Imam Khalil ibn Ahmad al-Farahidi, he used the head of the Ain, and he chose the head of the Ain because both letters have articulation points. Like we say a and a, same. Okay. So we're going fast here. So we study the letters now. Alif, a, I, u. They come from where? Al-Jawf. Okay, they come from the airflow comes from the lungs through your vocal cords, and then it leaves the mouth. A, I, u, alif, wawiya. And it is not accompanied by a ghunna. Make sure if you say don't produce ghunna from your nasal cavity. Like, how can you tell? How can you tell? You block the nose. I say, do it now and see. Do you feel like there is a sound coming from your nose? If that's the case, then you need to open your mouth wider. U, E. Very good. That's the correct pronunciation, because we don't use the nose to pronounce letters except two, mim and nun. That's it. The rest, they only come from the mouth. So e u, and not e o. This is actually called al khankhana. When some people talk like that, right? Maybe they have like health issues, or maybe they just feel comfortable doing it. Like for example, let's say assalamu alaikum. They use their nose a lot. Yeah, you know some people like that. Like bismillah. Let's continue inshallah. I'll jump to this like letters of hamza. Where is the hamza coming from? From the throat. Uh, al-ha right above it. Uh, uh. So the hamza is a plosive sound. Plosive means the air gets blocked. But just look at the two vocal cords here. You see what happens? They close. Uh, you can't pronounce like a long hamza. Uh, it stops there. So this is what it meant by الهمزة الساكنة تخرج بانطباق الوترين الصوتيين. I know that the pronunciation of the letters, because I taught this many times, I feel like some students tend to find it boring when they study the letters. This is the letter made does this that. So we're gonna go like really fast, and just focus on dot. Those 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 letters that are very challenging, like dot, sod. Okay, but hamza, ayn. Any difficulty with the ayn, for example? Do you find the ayn easy? Ayn, ayn is coming from the middle of the throat. But this is like very good. There's a video on YouTube you can watch, and the tongue moves. They tell you exactly where, because you can tell like here, the ayn is coming. This is the ayn. It's coming from right here. It's like the very top part of the throat. The ayn in the middle, but the ghain is like higher. Okay, you want to do this exercise of the ayn and the ghain? You like tongue twisters? Okay, let's see who can do this. Bismillah. Oh. Yeah. Bismillah. شجرة العخعوخ لها عخعخان لا يعخعخها إلا فصيح اللسان. Yes, شجر. Okay, say شجرة العخعوخ لها عخعخ عخعخان. Yeah, it took me a lot of time just to practice this, honestly. But this is very good practice for عين and خاء, عين and خاء. So you keep switching. لا يعخعخها إلا فصيح اللسان. Tongue twisters is very good, because they make you fluent, in languages. Yeah, العخعوخي عخعخاني. ما شاء الله. There you go. Allah Akbar. Takbir. That's good. That's good. Wallah, I did. Oh. MashaAllah. That's great. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Where exactly? Okay. MashaAllah, like you traveled the world like that. Right, now let's move to some other letters. Bismillah. Like, for example, the letter Ra. Ra in Arabic, like the tongue has to touch the roof of the mouth. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Ra. 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 Yeah, it vibrates. You see here? This is what it says. It vibrates. So the tongue is touching the roof of the mouth. Ta, dal, ta. This is, they're coming from right here. Ta. So repeat after me. Say ta, da, ta. Do you feel like they're made up by the same articulate, the tongue, right? And the ta is heavier. It's mufakhama. Okay, I think we're good here. We just need to go to. So these are the letters. Again, like you have the slides. Just go over it. Okay. Now let's start with this first tajweed rule. So now what we did, basically introduction to Quran science, hukum of isti'adha, basmala, memorization of the Quran, and then we studied some letters. Now we're moving to idgham, like when you merge two letters together. Okay, like for example, we have these words. You see in Arabic, وَقَدْ دَخَلُوا. So when you have a dal followed by another dal, what do? You merge them. You merge them. Idgham. So there are, you can write this in your notes. You say there are 3 types of idgham. 3 types of idgham. The first one is when you have 2 letters that are identical. Dal, dal, sin, sin, ta, ta. What do you do here? You do idgham. This exists in a little other languages. Can you give me 2 words in French, like where the first one ends with a letter and then the next one starts with the same exact letter? Yeah, or English. French or English. Like black car. Black car. So you do idgham. Do you say black car? Do you pause in the middle? If you say it in English, do you pause? Yeah, but if you say it fast, you have black car. So this is idgham. We have idgham. So idgham, like idhar, these rules exist in all languages, but they're more emphasized in the Quran. And you like kind of like sometimes like you really spend some time showing and pronouncing them. Okay, like for example, if there's meme and meme, you do ghunna, you hold it. Okay, minhum man, you kind of like hold it for 2 seconds. So that's the first idgham. Idgham harfain mutamathilain, 2 identical letters. Next is idgham harfain. There are from the same makhraj. They call it mutajanisain. So like they come or made up by the same articulators. For example, قد تبين, you say قد تبين. قل رب, you say what? قُرَّب, because lam and ra, they're close in pronunciation. So you do something called idgham. Okay, how about this one? يَلْهَثْ ذَلِكَ. Same, you say يَلْهَثْ ذَلِكَ. Okay? Yeah, here it says the pronunciation. So this is how it's pronounced. Oh yes, Jazakallah khair. You can actually stop there if you want, because actually I would recommend stopping there, because ذلك is للبعيد, اسم إشارة للبعيد, so better you stop before it. يلهث, and then ذلك مثل القوم الذين كذبوا بآياتنا. Good. با في الميم, اركب معنا, اركب معنا. هذا حكم الإدغام. هذا يسمى حكم الإدغام. And again, حكم الإدغام is used in Arabic and other languages as well. What is the purpose of it? Make the pronunciation flow easier. Yes. Oh, just say meme. اركب معنا. But keep in mind that some Arabs, they actually don't blend the meme and the ba together. So like you will have in some qira'at, يركب معنا. Yeah. So some blend it, some merge it, some don't merge it, depending on whichever riwayah you're reciting. Yeah. And we're learning these according to the riwayah of Hafs, the most popular. Jim, قطب جد. So like you have 5 letters. قاف, طا, با, جيم, دال. And they have a sukoon on top. يركب يركب معنا يركب معنا. And we'll come to the qalqala ruling, inshallah. How about this word? When you have the sun, what's the sun in Arabic? The sun. Ash-shams. Do we pronounce the lam? Why? Yeah, so it's merged. The lam is merged with the sheen. So we don't say al-shams. How do we say it? Ash-shams. Simply because lam and sheen, they're close in pronunciation. Okay, I want you to feel the 2 letters. Say sha and then la. What if we do like lam and hamza? La and hamza is right here in the bottom of the throat, and then lam is made up by the tongue. So they're far away from each other. We don't do idgham there. We only do idgham if the 2 letters, like the lam and the following, are very close in pronunciation. Does that make sense? Okay, another example like this. As-sama. They're close, they're right here, next to each other. So in that case, we do idgham. As-sama. Yeah, for sin, yeah, it goes down. As-sama. In English, we have such a thing, like if you have lam and ra, like alright. Yeah, you feel like there's some sort of idgham. Good. Now let's move on. Bismillah. These are the letters of Al-Qamariyya. If one says, okay, how can I know the letters that cannot be blended with the lam? Well, easy. There are 14 letters. Memorize this phrase. It's written by Shaykh al-Imam al-Jamzuri rahimahullah. ابغي حجك وخف عقيمة. So همزة با غين حا جيم كاف واو خافة عين قاف يا ميم ها. So these 14 letters, they're not blended, they're not to be blended or merged with the lam. Yeah, that correct. So you have lam shamsiyya and then you have lam qamariyya. So yeah, you can tell by the sukoon. If you see the sukoon, then it's pronounced. You're right. Yeah. So that helps a little. But if you see the shadda, then that's shamsiyya. أحكام الميم والنون. And this is the last thing we're learning today. أحكام الميم والنون. Okay. مثلا, if we have words like this in Surah Al-Nas, I'm sure all of you memorize Surah Al-Nas. من الجنة والناس. What is the tajweed rule we have in this ayah? غنة. Where exactly? In the noon. So the غنة is when you have noon with the shadda on top, you hold it for 2 seconds. من الجنة والناس. Does that make sense? So what is غنة? When you have noon and meme with the shadda on top, we hold it for 2 seconds. حمالة الحطب. حمالة الحطب. So I want you to listen and repeat, inshallah. من الجنة والناس ولكن الله سلم. حمالة الحطب في اليم ولا تخافي. Perfect. No, so it's only like 2 haraka, they say. So because med can be 4 or 6. Hamza and yes, exactly. Same duration. Barakallahu fiqh. Yes, same duration. So let's study the ruling of noon and meme. Okay, so now meme. If you have a meme followed by a meme, then this hukum is called idgham. Okay, you're merging the two memes together. How do we pronounce this? Who can pronounce this for us with tajweed? Go ahead. ممتاز. لكم. Okay, the next one. Very good. So what we did here, we merged these two together. Okay. And they usually don't put any haraka on the first meme. You just leave it like that. So that's the first hukum. Now, second hukum, they say ikhfa. What is ikhfa? When you have meme followed by ba. ترميهم بحجارة. The next one. وما هم بمؤمنين. This is called ikhfa when the meme الساكنة is followed by a ba. Idhar when the meme is followed by the rest of the letters. We don't do idgham here. Like, for example, when you see this example here, meme followed by huwa, fa. We don't hold the meme here. We just say hum fiha, am lam tunzirhum la yu'minun. Just like that. Yes, I think we'll stop here. So next time we'll do ahkam al-noon al-sakina. So we did meme al-sakina, so we'll do meme noon al-sakina. Yeah, I think we're good because we finished so far 155 slides and we have 2 more sessions. You know what? I would like to end this, inshallah, last session. I'll be talking about al-tabaqat, how to raise your voice, like al-maqamat, like how to recite with melodies, different melodies. And like also like when it's a good time to learn maqamat. And how can I memorize the Quran? What are some of the tools that Allah gave me to memorize the Quran? Okay, raise your hand if you're planning to memorize the whole Quran. MashaAllah. Okay. Aim high always. You say a Quran and all qira'at, inshallah. So today we're practicing Surah An-Nas. And that's good because we learned like al-ghunna, so we can apply that in the surah. Alright, are you ready? So I'll recite and repeat after me, inshallah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. Barakallahu fikum. Now let's start listening to your beautiful recitations. Who is gonna go first? Bismillah. Yes. Ahmed. Sunnah. But you have this little hero, mashallah. What's your name? You want to go first? Yeah. No? Surat An-Nas. The last surah in the Quran. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ. Okay, so yeah, go ahead. Yeah, the ending's like وَالنَّاسِ. You can do actually 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but make sure the endings of the next ayat are the same. They're identical. Like, yeah, they have to match. The length has to be the same. Like, if, let's say if someone says, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, short. So the rest has to be the same thing. So you can't say, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. That's that. خطأ. They have to match. Hmm. Correct. Correct. Like you mean examples such as here, Med and then Hamza, right? Yada Abi Lahab. Yeah, that's a different type of med. So that's not like the, it's a different type of med, which you can actually do it for, and it doesn't have to match with the ending. It's separate. Yeah. Because think of mudud, they have like brothers and sisters, and like if they have a brother that has the same exact ruling, then they have to be identical. If it's like someone else from another family, then they have their own med. You have to like match. And there are not any like that much. There are only like four types of med that are used in Hafs. We can just go over them. Inshallah, it's actually in the last session. Med al-tabi'i, med al-sababi. The purpose of this session, everyone, is to introduce you to tajweed. So you know exactly what, and you go over all the tajweed rules. So basically, what did we do like so far? We learned some of the history of Quran, which is part of tajweed, the pronunciation of the letters. We learned idgham, right, and hikam al-mim al-sakina, and that's it. We're here so far. So inshallah, next we're going to like more tajweed rules. And I have this slide. It's called definition. I'm gonna send it to you on the group, inshallah. But let's hear from Subhi. تفضل. Good, good, mashallah. So the last one, lam, is pronounced. It's a lam qamariya. من الجنة والناس. Okay. من الجنة والناس. Next. That's your turn. Hold the noon for a bit, like Malikin Nas. أفخم, like make the kha heavy. من شر الوسواس الخناس. والناس. Because here we have lam that's not blended and lam that's blended. So we have qamari and then we have here shamsiyya. أحسن. ما شاء الله بارك الله فيك. Okay, next. Because they say like it has a shadda on top, and the shadda, it's any letter that has shadda, it's doubled. So by holding it a bit, you're actually showing the other noon that has been, like there are two noons. Yeah. تفضل. Make the ra مرققة من شر شر شر. Did you stop on ayah 5 or you connected it? You did. Okay, yes. Perfect. Next. تفضل. شري. شري ري. Make it مرققة. Wow. Son, very good. Okay, yes. Perfect, mashallah. Yes. تفضل. Very good, mashallah. Yes, please. Very good. I guess it's your turn now. قل أعوذ. Say that. So the tongue touches the upper teeth. Yes, very good. Mm-hmm. إله. Hold the noon. إله الناس. من الجنة والناس. How much surah you know from the Quran? How many surahs you memorize? So many, so that you can't count them. Who knows the whole juz' am? Like juz' 30. Who memorizes the whole juz' 30? Just have half of it. We need to work inshallah on a memorization bismillah, okay? So let's do this surah again together last time, and then we gotta go to adhan. A random page? Oh, okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, let's practice this one together, and then I'm gonna go to the hard page. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. Very good. Okay, there are 6 ayat here. 1, 2, 3. We do both. We do both. So let's go. Like how hard you want it? Like out. Normal? Okay, okay. We're not going. Okay. Okay, actually, I'm gonna go to this one right here. Here. You know, the ayat talks about Qarun. إن قارون كان من قوم موسى فبغى عليهم وآتيناه من الكنوز ما إن مفاتحه لتنوء بالعصبة أولي القوة إذ قال له قومه لا تفرح إن الله لا يحب الفرحين. Go easier. 394. Okay. All right, that's okay. Let's go to a shorter one. Like, go to a shorter one. Okay, 69, page 393. وربك يعلم ما تكن صدورهم وما يعلنون. Yeah, who wants to go first? تكن صدورهم. Like Allah knows what they're hiding and what they're exposing. Yes, okay, Luqman. 390. Go to 69. وربك يعلم from here. There you go. Who's going next? Subhi? Okay, I'll make this bigger here. يعلم. فتح الله عليك. ما شاء الله. Yes. Go ahead. Oh, we have them. MashaAllah. Because you had it memorized, so that's like. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Okay, MashaAllah. Yes. MashaAllah. Perfect. Jazakallah khair. I'll give you a shorter one that requires some sort of an effort, like when you say it. In Surah Al-Qalam. In Surah Al-Qalam, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says here, وَدُّوا لَوْ تُدْهِنُ فَيُدْهِنُونَ. This ayah right here. وَدُّوا لَوْ تُدْهِنُ فَيُدْهِنُونَ. You did it. How about this one? Who can recite this one here? 11. Oh. هماز مشاء بنميم. How about this one? 13. Zanim. Yeah. Luqman? Luqman, why did you make sort of... Okay. So second page. Which one? Which one? Oh, 412. So here, واغضض من صوتك. ولقد آتينا لقمان الحكمة أن اشكر لله ومن يشكر فإنما يشكر لنفسه ومن كفر. Which one? ومن يشكر فإنما يشكر لنفسه ومن كفر فإن الله غني حميد. هذه ومن كفر. It's pronounced. Yeah, it's مخفى. ومن كفر. Alright, mashallah. Now, who wants to do it? Just, it's just the first ayah. ومن شكر. Oh yeah, from here. ومن يشكر. Yeah, second part of the ayah, yes. ومن يشكر. MashaAllah. Yes, go ahead. ومن يشكر إضغام. Yes, you stretch it. ومن We'll come to this حكم next session. من, it's like a blend of nun and ya together. ومن يشكر. Very good. MashaAllah. Yeah. Very good. Yes. So when you recite slow, it's actually, it helps a lot in tajweed, in applying tajweed, because the faster, then the more challenging it is. Stretching. Yes. No, stretching like in a bad way, not in a, so for example, you don't make it like sound consistent. Like for example, you say Alhamdulillah, you say Alham. That kind of stretching. Yeah, you only stretch when there is a mad. That's the thing. When there is a mad, you stretch. Other than that, you don't. Yeah. You're saying it slower, and you apply the mad. The mad has to be applied, and because the recitation is slow, so the mad tend to be longer. But no stretching, not to the mad here. I feel like to the other letters, Jim, you know. Do you know palindromes? Palindromes. When you read the word, okay. Do you know if there are any palindromes in the Quran? Like, like, like race. Hmm. Yeah. So in Arabic, you have this ayah in the Quran, in Surah Al-Muddathir. ربك فكبر. Here it is. كل في فلك. So you have ربك فكبر كل palindromes. You can read it. This is like, subhanallah, amazing, right? Do you know, like, the Romans, they used to, like, put the Arabs in jail, like Muslims, and they allow them to write, like, a farewell letter to their families. And while were in prison, they hear the planning, everything, the plotting. So they write a letter that says, "Oh, to my mom or my dad, this is like my last day here, blah 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 blah." But in this letter, if you read it backward, it's actually gonna say they're gonna come to attack you next week, and they're coming from the north, and wallahi, it's coded like it's coded. So the Arabic language is, Allah, is very powerful. So this is just one example where some words you can read from both sides. And there are some examples like on the internet of like coded Arabic messages. Adhan. When we call the adhan, we make sure that we have the correct order. That's number one. So what is the correct order? Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. You say it 4 times. Allahu Akbar 4 times in the beginning. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. That's the first thing to keep in mind. So that's the med, right? In the alif is okay. We'll come to the med later, but the wording has to be Allahu Akbar 4 times, and then what is the next one? Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. How many times? 2. And then Ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. 2. Hayya ala salah. Make sure you clarify the ha at the end. Don't say salah. As-salah. Next. Hayya ala al-falah. Same. You clarify the ha. Hayya ala al-falah. And then Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. 2 times. In the beginning we did 4 Allahu Akbars, now we do 2. And the last, La ilaha illallah. Good. Okay, perfect. Now let's move on to the tabaqat. What is tabaqat? When you begin your adhan, do you begin with a thin like voice, like or a deep voice? Do you go like Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar? You get stuck in the middle if you start like that, because if you go once you reach as-salah, you can't go higher. That's the highest you can go. It's not recommended. So it's actually recommended to start with a deep voice. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Getting ready for it. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Just like that. Okay. Yalla, show me some examples. Who wants to go first? Say Allahu Akbar with ish. Deep voice. They say طبقة القرار. Where's the mic? We need the other mic. On adhan? Yes, please. Let's hear your adhan then. So first thing you say, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Start with qarar tabaqa, like a deep voice. Absolutely. You apply tajweed. Like what? Just when we get to that part of where there's some, contradiction, just let me know, because it could be wrong. Because some people say, Ashhadu an la ilahu, they make wrong vocalization sounds. It's done in one way. Yes. No, not necessarily. Not to that level. It is, yeah. No, adhan, no. Yeah. Okay, no, adhan is like more flexible. You don't really like make it consistent. It's up to you. As long as you're not switching, like for example, some people switch hayya. They say hayya ala salah. It shouldn't be like that. Then you don't elongate hayya. And or rasul. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. You shouldn't elongate Rasul. Some words you can't elongate. Rasul, Hayy. And if you're calling for Fajr prayer, As-salatu khayrun minan nawm. You don't elongate a nawm because you don't want people to sleep. You want them to come to salah. But if you elongate the nawm, they'll be like, okay. Like, can you make the adhan like this? As-salatu khayrun minan nawm. This is completely wrong. Yeah. So you're saying 200,000 people here in Montreal, you lost you lost maybe 190. So you elongate as-salah. As-salatu khayrun minan nawm.
The norm is short.
Short, yes, short. Okay, go first. Bismillah. Eh?
Allahu Akbar.
Yeah.
Ya Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
So the first Allah Akbar, don't make it long. Say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
That's much better. Very good. Okay, let's hear the rest. Bismillah.
What? What you want me to say?
Now we come to the Ashhadu one part. Inshallah, we come to that. Just now, let's practice the Allahu Akbar one, like in the beginning. Oh, that's okay. I just want you to like get practice to the deep voice in the beginning.
Okay.
And how you start, like how you start your adhan. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Go ahead.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Very good, mashallah. The second one, yes. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. So you elongate the second one. Don't elongate the first, because if you elongate the first, then how are you going to elongate the second? It doesn't sound correct, like if you say, Allahu Akbar, Allah. Unless if you want to make the second longer. There's actually a maqam called Ras, you can do it like this. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Have you heard that one? Maqam Ras. But we're doing Hijaz. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Subhi, go ahead.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
MashaAllah. But make sure you clarify the Hamza. Don't say Allahu Akbar, Wakbar. No, Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Very good. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Perfect. Okay, Luqman.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Mia. Very good, very good, very good.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
MashaAllah. Yeah, do the one that you usually do. Yes, I want to hear it.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
MashaAllah. So what you did is Rast. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Very good. Go ahead.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
MashaAllah. You know that Allah, Nabi alayhi salam قال المؤذنون أطول الناس أعناقا يوم القيامة. If you literally translate this, it says like people who call the adhan, the longest, but it means like a rif'a, yani they will be in a high status, and حتى مقامهم عالي. They will be elevated. Their rank will be elevated because they're calling the adhan. Allah. Yes. Adhan and Eid. Salat al-Eid?
No, lead the prayer.
Lead the.
It shouldn't be the same person, right?
Oh, okay. The one who, okay. Nabi Sallallahu قال, the one who calls the adhan, let them do the iqamah. But the imam should be another person. That's the sunnah. But you can actually call adhan, do iqamah and lead. But if you want to follow the sunnah, then yes. It's better for you like to let someone do adhan and iqamah and you lead.
And in the case in which you're supposed to lead, should you have someone else do the qada, or should you just yourself?
So let's say you call the adhan
Right.
and you want to lead. So have someone else do the iqamah for you. Yeah, it's better. But if there is no one, you can just do the iqamah and lead. That's fine. Yeah. So that's the thing. Like in khutbah, so there are different opinions of the scholars when it comes to like organizing a Friday khutbah. Like for example, I know that at the student center in universities, like schools, if you have just one person, some scholars say you don't do Salat al-Jum'ah because Salat al-Jum'ah is at least for 3. Yes. Why 3? Because one would call the adhan, one would do what? Will be led, iqamah, and then one will give the khutbah. فقالوا مأموم ومؤذن وخطيب. So that's minimum number of Jum'ah. 40. Yes, some schools say 40. At least 40. So basically like, okay, we can't start the salah, let's count. 1, 2, 3. You're counting. Oh, 39. Like, oh, exactly. Astaghfirullah. And if you see like one of your friends who are not a Muslim, like, okay, can you just enter Islam? So that we can lead the prayer and then you can go back to your faith, Yeah. So like, but you can pray, I think if you're 3 minimum, let's say minimum, that's the least number. You can get like 3 people to establish the salah. Now let's move to that. Yeah, go ahead. The dots. Correct. Correct. He didn't also put the dots. Correct. Yeah, all of these, yeah, they were actually, so the scholar, he died in 80 Hijri, sorry, 90 Hijri, which means like he did it probably, let's say like approximately like 70 years, like 50 years or 40 years after the death of the Prophet ﷺ. Nothing. حتى الحركات, nothing, just letters. Just letters, yeah. Absolutely, it's tough. But subhanAllah, with time, like every time we have like, so now we can actually have the Quran in our phones with so many Qurra you can pick from. I feel like do you think like there should be like more than this? Like I feel like next generation is just wearing glasses and you see the Quran and you can hear it. Yeah, right. Yeah, you see. I feel like that khalas, there's no more than that. Like there's no more like helpful resources than that. That's oh Allah. Wow, like if they yes, like you go and buy the ship and then the whole Quran is here. Yeah. You put money down. Or like the community will raise funds to ship the Imam. And then like they get like used to one riwayah. Like we want warsh, warsh is like 100,000. Yeah. Yes. And they like the most upgraded Imam in like Texas, He's worth like $3 million. Astaghfirullah. Well, one day you think they will do the shipping thing? Allah, good, now let's move to, so we did Allahu Akbar 4 times. Ashhadu. Ashhadu an la, I'll get la. Okay. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allah. after me. Let's do the first and the second. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Again, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. When you go up and down, this is called طبقات الصوت. The transition must be smooth. So that's the best way to train, is to do this. They go like over the ladder. Let's do 4. Do 2. Let's make it so easy. This is important, Adhan. Allah, because you want to avoid doing nashaz. What is nashaz? When you do this, like the transition is messed up. Like this. Allahu Akbar. Like you're stressed that if people are looking at you, it's like you're so nervous. So you do nashaz. So how do we avoid nashaz? Practicing the tabaqat al-sawt. Tabaqat is the key. It's actually what makes the recitation of the Quran beautiful as well. So let's do 3 now. Yes, like this. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Yeah. Hayya ala salah. Like, Hayya ala Yeah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. That's good, mashallah. Now ashhadu. Yes, go ahead. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Oh, the waves, just do it with one like wave. You want me to do it with Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah? You can actually avoid it if it's hard. You say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Oh, just, okay. So without the words, just the level. For Ashhadu. Okay, you don't. Oh, Ashhadu la. That's hard. Okay, make it easy. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. Repeat. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. And then the next one. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. MashaAllah. You see, Rahman did really good now. Again, guys, let's focus. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. The second. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. Very good. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. That's good. How do you elongate the breath? What are some of the exercises we can do? Take a deep breath and hold it. Hold it like for 10 seconds. Let's do it. Release. How was it? If you do this 10 times a day, like the more the better, of course, but like this is very helpful for your lung. It's gonna expand the lung. And mashallah, who's a good swimmer here? Everyone knows how to swim. Raise your hand if you know how to swim. So you need long breath if you want to be a professional swimmer. How do you do that? You go under the water and you hold it like 10 seconds, 15, 20. So this helps a lot. Because Umar ibn Khattab, when he said, teach your kids how to swim, and not just, being swimmer, also help the Quran. Just think about it that way as well. Yes. Yes, for sure. But some, like Dr. Ayman, he doesn't like it. He wants it like one shot, like أولئك على. But you can say أولئك أولئك. I feel like you can actually do some transitions as long as you're not overdoing it. Yes, that's like too much, when you do like more than 6 harakats. You go like, some people do 12 harakats. أولئك هم. You're not quoting adhan, brother. Like. Okay, we have 5 minutes, inshallah. Let's go faster. So, أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. We did that. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. Don't elongate حي. Don't say حي. لا. What is حي? Hasten to. معناها أقبل to do something like حي نأكل. It's time for iftar. حي. You say حي. يا حي. So حي على الأكل. It goes with the preposition on. So like حي على something, and you mentioned the activity. So حي على الصلاة, حي على الفلاح. Oh, hayya, like hayya. All right. Let's eat. لنأكل, like hayya لنأكل. حي على الصلاة. Repeat. حي على الصلاة. Good. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. Yes, go ahead. Salah. So salat is actually wrong because the ta at the end is like a ha. It's pronounced as a ha. I know some people do it, but I don't think this is grammatic. This is not grammatically correct. Hayya, two harakat only. Hayya ala. Hayya ala. But salah and falah, you can elongate as much as you want. Especially the second one. Hayya, no, just two harakat. No, just two. Hayya, that's it. Hayya, just two harakat. But don't do like hayya. That's because there is no like alif or waw or like there's no harf mad basically. Okay, I want to hear the longest hayya ala falah, the second one. Let's see how you can, inshallah, and I want you to time yourselves and see. Okay, I'm gonna say it and then you repeat after me and raise your voice and we will see who actually holds it the longest. Competition. Okay. No cheating, huh? You're fasting. Don't break your fast. Okay, I'll do it first. Let's do the first and then the second. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. Wait, start together. Okay, yalla, wait for the signal. 3, 2, 1, go. Allahu Akbar, who won? I heard two people like stopping at the same time. Mustafa, Sai? MashaAllah. That's great. Very good, MashaAllah. The second one, yeah. As long as you want. Like, it depends on like, you know Maqam al-Hijaz? Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Have you heard this maqam? حي على الفلاح. The second will be حي على الفلاح. I can actually make it very long. Like in Salat al-Maghrib, can you imagine? Like people like, come on, like do it fast. Because in Salat al-Adhan al-Maghrib, Adhan has to be short. Like for Adhan al-Maghrib. Yeah, especially for Ramadan. Especially for Ramadan. Exactly like Adhan. Now, I think it's time for Taraweeh, right? They're back and they're still saying the Adhan. So we did Hayya al Salah, Hayya al Falah. Allahu Akbar now. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. Okay, who signed up for the Quran and Adhan contest? It's next week. Sign up, sign up. I don't think there are, like, because so many events are happening here, mashallah, so many masjids. So Quran is just qira'ah. So like you open the mushaf, depending on which age group it is. Like I think for you guys, I think you're doing like juz' am, the last juz'. So I go like read Surah Al-Tariq. That's it, and you read from the mushaf, and I evaluate you according to the tajweed, the quality of your recitation. But at least sign up for the adhan. I want to see you all in adhan, inshallah. It's on the poster. I think it's from 2. Yeah. I'll give you. Yes. Because like to be fair and just is, yeah, like, so we'll tell people like you'll be age group, this age group you'll be tested in this juza, and I ask you, okay, go to page, like 603, and then you recite. So, any questions? أي سؤال؟ full adhan? Oh, okay. Let's hear people who want to do. Okay, you want me to hear your full adhan? Okay, yalla, bismillah. Who wants to do it? Okay, Luqman, go ahead. Start first.
Sure.
Let's hear Luqman. Eh? Hear Luqman's full adhan. So now I want you to imagine Luqman, you are in the masjid and it's Salat al-Jum'ah and it's full. The Imam.
You're not helping.
And the Imam, he went to the minbar and was like, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. And then it's your turn now to call the adhan for the khutbah. Go ahead.
Sure. Let me stand up actually.
Yes, please.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله
أشهد ألا not أن ألا
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح قد no this is إقامة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Can you say لا إله إلا الله but make your voice deep at the end? لا إله إلا الله.
لا إله إلا الله.
Sounded beautiful, صح? Much better, mashallah.
Can I try?
If you do,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. Bismillah. I'll give him the mic.
Oh, I want to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you go. Since the mic is with you, start. Oh, okay. Jazakallah khair. ويؤثرون على أنفسهم. He wants you to do it. Okay, yeah. Bismillah. No, guys, very important. Always face the qibla. And if you do hayya ala salah, what do? You turn to the right. Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala salah. Hayya al falah. To the left. Okay.
Allah. Oh yeah. I want to face with you. Yeah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح صلاة خير من النوم صلاة خير من النوم الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
And I highly recommend when you do Salat al-Khayr al-Nawm, do not even elongate Salat. Just like make it like this. As-salatu khayrun minan nawm. As-salatu khayrun minan nawm. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. Elongate the second one a little bit. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على حي على الصلاة. elongating حي.
Yeah.
حي على الصلاة.
حي على I'm so used to. Okay.
حي على الصلاة. Yes, yes, very good. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. وضح الحاء clarify the حاء. حي على الفلاح.
على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
فتح الله عليك. ما شاء الله. Very good adhan. When did you learn adhan?
My father just had me do it
Your dad?
at home, yeah.
ما
But
شاء
that,
الله.
just like,
Yeah, always make adhan at home. Make adhan. When it's time for adhan at home, just face the qibla and call the adhan. And remind people, there's so much ajr, wallahi, making adhan. And subhanAllah, we can't turn the loudspeakers on, right, in this country. So, is it across Canada, or like there are some places where you can? Are they doing it? Because I went to Buffalo, USA, and I heard the masjid speakers loud, like the adhan. Can I get it? Okay. Yeah, bi'idhnillah. Mrs. Saga, they doing that? Okay. But in downtown Toronto, they call the adhan like in downtown, like when it's Eid, but that's just only occasionally, not the 5 daily prayers. In Brampton? Wow, mashallah. This is beautiful. Yeah, I know. Big test from Allah, yeah. SubhanAllah. All right, everyone. So next week I'll be testing you on the adhan. We'll continue to hear more adhans, inshallah. But make sure you remember the things that we covered today. Okay, let's continue listening to your adhan and give you feedback. Go ahead. I never do adhan.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على
So
الفلاح
what you're doing, حي على الفلاح. That's good. But inshallah, next time I want you to go like حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر.
الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Great. You know, always focus on the tajweed part and the correct pronunciation of the adhan. The rest is just additional. If you perfect the tone, yes, it will be much better, of course. So, okay, no problem. So it will be much better if you perfect the tone. Okay. Any volunteers? You have a question? Like, okay, and it's called tar'eed, like vibrating, yes. Like, for example, حي على الصلاة. That's not correct. You're right. That's true. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. جزاكم الله خير. Inshallah, we'll see you next week, Sunday. And we go over the rest of Tajweed. And we have the Quran and Adhan competition. Make sure you sign up for that, inshallah. Yeah, and yeah, exactly, yeah. Sign up like on the telephone, yes. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum. Ruh.